You better believe DoorDash Dashers like you are upset about what? Let me ask you, what do you get upset about when you dash for DoorDash? Comment down below because I'm betting there's a whole list of different things. And I did some investigating on the unofficial hangout spot for DoorDash Dashers on Reddit. And I have some scenarios that I've encountered that you probably will encounter. It doesn't matter if you're new or experienced. You might have already encountered this. And how do you make the best of it so you don't waste your time and lose out on money? Scenario number 1, I teach you to communicate with the customer when, before the pickup, any problems on the road, constructions, accidents, etc. During the pickup at the restaurant, if they say it's going to be another 15 minutes, you feel like waiting, why not? The pay is exceptional. And then there's this scenario. Let's just call this customer Mike here in this example. So you say, "Hi Mike, I picked up your order, but I got another pickup at Chipotle. I'll be there at yours ASAP." And then Mike says, "I don't understand why you would drive farther away from my house after collecting my food." And this isn't from me again. This is sourced from Dashers on Reddit. I've basically had this happen. So when it happened to me in San Diego, I did my 2 pickups because this driver's detailing a stacked pickup, 2 or more assignments for one driver. He or she's like, "Hey, I got another pickup. Just want to let you know." So when I arrived at customer, I guess number 2 or actually number 1, doesn't even matter. And I got to the front door, the guy's like, "Hey, why did you basically pass my house when you already did the pickup?" And I told him basically this was in person. I said, "Well, DoorDash tells us where to go and the order here. I mean, I understand you've been waiting, but that person might have put the order in first and might have been waiting longer. I'm sorry, just take the food," basically. So the driver says, "Well, I just told you I had another pickup. It's what DoorDash does. Sorry." Should you communicate to the customer that you just got or have another pickup? No, sorry. This is an example where I would not communicate with the customer. They have information on the app. Frankly, it's not even good news. Yes, I would communicate delays, but even if you got an add-on order, so you accepted, and then the app threw you another order, don't tell them that, okay? The app is going to tell them for you. Well, speaking of getting yelled at, unfortunately, this driver cites the staff at Outback just tried to yell at me for calling them to bring the late order to my car. Check out the sign. I mean, it says Outback parking for literally Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash. Stay in your car and we will be right out. Thanks, mate. Kidding aside, was it the Dasher's fault in this case? Parking and then calling as that sign stated. No, it's not their fault. I would understand that, yes, like you, and be honest here, like you and me, I'll say, that staff can have a bad day. Maybe they have bad management. Maybe they just were instructed by corporate, but it's a franchise and they just aren't running things as effectively. I don't know. Just find the way that they preferred, okay? I would do this. I would continue to park there maybe 2 times, maybe 3 times, and call. And if they get upset every single time, you can go in there and even on the first one, politely say, "Hey guys, I just noticed a sign there. I was parking there. That's why I gave you guys a call. Would you prefer that I come inside or should I still do the sign?" Don't get upset because you certainly don't want, for whatever reason, if they see you're picking up, and I believe they'll see it in their DoorDash marketplace on their tablet, possibly who's assigned. I'm pretty sure. Just don't make it harder on yourself. If you're new to food delivery, I don't care if it's Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, that you need to know the basics, because if you go out there and just go online and accept stuff and you don't know positioning, cost saving, etc., you're going to lose money flat out. Consider enrolling in our course, Mastering Delivery. It's going to teach you the basics, how to set up your vehicle, how to deal with these customers. There's complete word scripts as well. And you get a copy of our popular earnings tracking spreadsheet. Very proud of the couriers that went through that have left a review on that course as well. That's at yourdrivermight.com/delivery. Scenario number 3, you're driving in your marketplace. You've done the research and you've chosen the subsection, sub-marketplace within your overall market. This is where I'm going to be, ideally on peak pay. And then they send you this, $11.25 for 19.8 miles. It's not even paying $1 per mile. It's paying under $1 per mile. So what is that going to do? If that per mile rate is low enough, it's basically going to have you break even or lose money on that run, because that ending destination as well, how far is this? Let's say, I don't know, 25 minutes, whatever this is going to be. Then if you don't want to go that direction, you actually want to end your shift where you currently were, then you're going to have to eventually drive back. That's more expenses than mileage. You can see here, it might need to be returned. Why? And we haven't really covered this, so pay attention, that you need to get the customer's ID. You can't have the ID taped to the door. That violates terms of service. You have to have someone 21 and over. So if there's anything fishy, you can't make that delivery. So you have to head all the way back. That is probably going to be one of the most common things you're going to see as a Dasher. Comment down below, actually. How common is it that, well, actually, a better measure would be, tell me your acceptance rate, right? Your acceptance rate is a great barometer of how good, how attractive are orders in your marketplace. If it's like 60%, like, hey, a decent amount of orders, over half are good. If it's like 5%, you know the deal. Now, you know the contract violations on DoorDash, the extreme lateness and the order never arrived. Let's focus on that latter, because this driver got that order never arrived contract violation. And again, comment down below. I guarantee you're going to have this happen eventually, where a customer marks, hey, dude, I never got it. And you put it smack dab right in front of the correct house, apartment number, etc. Or even worse, you handed it to someone that opened the door at that correct house or apartment number. And then basically as soon as you get in your car or a minute later, you get hit with the order never arrived. You can dispute the contract violations, as you should if you did everything correctly here. But just take note here, this driver cited, hey, due to volume of disputes, not all disputes are reviewed before you complete your next 100 deliveries. Why does that matter? Because after your next 100 deliveries, a most recent contract violation would fall off. They do say contract violations with a pending dispute, that would be your dispute here, do not count towards a deactivation, because that's the warning there. Too many of these violations, you can be deactivated. Any contract violation with a pending dispute will either be reviewed prior to deactivation, like, hey, we reviewed it, yeah, that it still stands, and then you're deactivated if you get, again, too many of those. Or will not be considered in making a deactivation decision if they deem like, yeah, that makes no sense. All the data and the evidence you sent us, we agree with you. So do this if you get a fraudulent contract violation. Most likely the order never arrived. Okay, so number one is having as much evidence as you're comfortable with. And I say that because I've seen Dashers, they have the body cam, they have a timestamp app, which puts a timestamp and location on a picture that you take, and then you submit that picture to DoorDash on their proof of delivery. You can have a dash cam or two dash cams, like one facing the houses on the road, one facing the road, so you can document like, yep, I was here. Here's the timestamp on that. I've heard Dashers taking pictures of the receipt at the restaurant, so it'll show, hey, I got it, and whatever, just compiling any other proof of delivery that you can think of. And here is the action item for you. The longer you intend on doing this and the more hours you intend on doing, like especially the stronger part-time hours to full-time driving, the more and more of those you might want to consider. I understand there's some investment to that, to some of those at least, and that is a business expense, by the way. Now, is this going to be frequent? No, but if you just get a string of bad luck, and we still actually haven't received a concrete number of violations that would get you deactivated. But I have heard you can have 4 on your account and you'll still be okay. So just take that with a grain of salt there. But still, you want to protect your account. Now, this last scenario has actually happened to me as well. So pay attention to this one here. I got to Chick-fil-A and waited about 10 minutes, which was unusual for them. I asked for the order, and the manager had to go way back in the screen, like the screen of orders, just like clicking through their food delivery requests, and told me that someone else picked it up. I called support, and they said they would cancel the order, and the customer would get a refund, meaning they never got the order, and it wasn't a glitch. Ended up getting $13 on half pay, meaning the offer would have been around $26 for 6 miles. Ouch. And I missed out on it because people can't stop stealing. I mean, it could have been a glitch where the order was sent through the Chick-fil-A and they fulfilled the order. But then, yeah, there's a glitch on DoorDash's system that it disappeared. I don't know. That is a glitch. So what I would do, number one, like this Dasher did correctly, contact support, explain things, and I feel like as soon as you feel like something's messing up, so if you're at this Chick-fil-A and it's just not working, they can screenshot it at that point. Just in case there is a real glitch and something disappears on your Dasher app, screenshot it. I've even said, if you get those money orders like $4 a mile, this one would have been exceptional, and you see it on the order request screen, I would screenshot it then, because it'll show the pay, all the stuff, the miles, the restaurant. What's the prevalence of that? Do I think it's common? I'll say kind of rare as well. I never really had a lot of those. I think actually I might have had one. Let me know how many deliveries you've done and how rare is that. The fact is, though, you need to know how to respond to these scenarios, whether it be some of them actually were more rare than others today, but you need to protect your account and obviously protect your payday so you're not missing out on money.